How do, beautiful lords, ladies, and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Nerd Chambers. Super excited to get to talk some video games with you guys again. Manny Roman with me as always. Man, what's going on?
Oh, I never thought I'd hear that again in my life. Feels good. Feels good to so good to be back. With us as always, Adam is here. Hi, Adam.
Hi. As y'all might tell, I sound a little different. You know, it's a thing. It's a cold.
COVID.
It happens.
Yeah,
It's not COVID, I swear. Well, I guess I can't swear. I haven't been tested, but
Oh,
I'm gonna say it's no.
we're all at risk.
I've had the vaccine. You're fine.
But you might be sick.
I'm
So,
wearing my
like-
mask right now. Don't worry.
Oh, perfect. Okay, cool. Cool. Yeah, please don't breathe on me. That'd be great. Thanks. And joining us this week is our good buddy, Mr. Castnims.
Hello.
How's it going, buddy? Oh,
Going okay.
That's good.
Hanging out.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, bud. Yeah.
Yeah, totally, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, for this return episode, we're going to break down our wish list for the biggest week of the year, E3 week. Very different this year. It's just it's going to be a series of digital events because of the pandemic and all that. So we're going to break down 3 games, a need, a want, and a gotta have it. Like if I don't see this game at the show, I'm going to rage quit. Before that, kind of introduce what shows are going to be going on for the week of E3. So tomorrow, by the time this gets out, it'll be today, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. We have Summer Games Fest. If you guys remember last year, it's an event organized by Jeff Keighley, the guy who does the Game Awards. And this year it's going to be, I believe he said it's a 2-hour event presentation. He's going to have, music performances, and he's going to have a bunch of world premieres. I'm super intrigued to see what's going to be at that show, because it's one of the few that isn't developer or Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo specific. And it's going to kind of be a wide range of different developers showing stuff off. So I think that one will be really fun. The next big one will be Saturday, June 12th. We have Ubisoft doing their Forward. There's actually a game that I'm going to bring up later that I'm hoping to see at the Ubisoft Forward. And then Sunday's probably the biggest day. We have Xbox and Bethesda Showcase. That's going to be at 1 p.m. Eastern. And then following that, 3:15 Eastern, we have Square Enix's Showcase. Then the PC Gaming Show. And Warner Brothers is supposed to be doing something on Sunday as well. And then the last big one is Nintendo's Direct on Tuesday the 15th at noon Eastern. So, Adam, let's start with you. What's a game that you want to see at this year's E3?
That's a great question. So for want to see, I really want to see Back for Blood.
Ooh, I like that.
Yes, sir. I loved the Left 4 Dead series, and of course, I get it. It wasn't too beloved, I feel, so it's probably why they didn't make another. But it's been long enough. Bring it back.
No, yeah. I got to play that closed alpha that they did last year, was it now? Or was it earlier this year? I don't even remember. I think it was last year. Yeah. Because I was still in Illinois when I played it. But it's cool. It's going to be a fun game. It almost feels like it's going to be a little bit more difficult than I remember Left 4 Dead being. And it feels like it's almost a little more chaotic. Like there's almost moments where you can try to play the game a little more like stealthy and stuff won't get as chaotic. But I mean, most of the time people are just going in guns blazing.
Yeah, true.
And so things get kind of crazy, but it's super fun. It had the exact same feel, which is great. I mean, it's the same development team, so it's no surprise, but it was awesome to have that kind of experience again.
Definitely.
Brandon, I forgot, did you, because I remember telling you guys about the beta, did you even get access to it, or did you guys just not even?
Sadly, I didn't. I agree with Adam though, man. Left 4 Dead, great franchise. A lot of fun. It gave that kind of arcadiness to a co-op story / multiplayer game, which I thought was really neat. And it's going to be really exciting to see what they can do for Back for Blood. I mean, for the little stuff I saw through, gameplay trailers, I think there was a little stuff that came out that wasn't super NDA, that the game looks like it will be fun. So yeah, I love that idea. That's one of those games that, pending when it comes out to, what else we're possibly playing if we need something to play, that is definitely a game I will jump on. I would love to see some more stuff about it, see how much cleaner it is at this point.
I'm wondering how long it's going to take for mods to come out for it. I still returned to Left 4 Dead today because of the mods, It was a good game back in its day, but right now, it's the only way to play it, you know what I'm saying? So I'm wondering, how much they're going to change and if it's going to be sustainable without mod support. And I'm also wondering how crazy the mods are going to get for it.
I'm gonna be honest, I never got to play the game with mods because at the time I played it on console.
Yeah, same. No mods for me.
I didn't even know there were mods for this game.
That's fair. I didn't either. I'm gonna be completely honest. Well, Cass, what's your game you would like to see? You want to see?
I
at
want to
E3?
see the Breath of the Wild 2 or sequel. I don't know if it's going to be Breath of the Wild 2 per se, but I've been wanting to see the sequel. They announced it so long ago, but I feel like there isn't enough out on it at the moment. So I'm hoping to get something out of it.
For sure. I feel like that is one we have to see at this point. Because to your point, it's been over a year, I believe, since they announced the existence of it. Granted, if I do remember right, they did say it was in very early development, but I'm sure we'll see something on it soon. I mean, if they were able to have an in-game cutscene ready, I'm sure they'll have enough ready to show something this year. Because, I mean, it's been, almost 4 years since Breath of the Wild came out? Because Switch came out, yeah, it's been 4 years.
And the sequel was teased at E3 in 2019.
Mhm.
So you figure it's been that long since you got the teaser, so I'm hoping they just bring it back at E3 in 2021 and give us something.
For sure. Adam, I know you probably play the Switch more than any of us. Did you play Breath of the Wild one?
No, as much as I do like the older Zelda games, Breath of the Wild did not interest me at all.
Totally fair. Totally fair. I understand that point. And then Brandon, now you don't have your Switch anymore, do you, Brandon?
I don't, but I have actually played the game a bit. My girlfriend does have it, and I just never got into just the Zelda lore, so I think that's kind of why I missed it. I thought the game, though, it plays so well, and it is so smooth in comparison to anything I remember of the Zelda games, and the ability to kind of have the free roam aspect is nice, I know, to a certain extent. So it is definitely exciting to see what they'll do with the second one, and what I can't wait to see, because I have watched so many speed runs of Breath of the Wild. I am so excited to see what Breath of the Wild 2 speed runs will bring.
I mean,
Speedruns.
it got to the point where I got a little bored because the game's mainly based off of doing these little puzzles,
Mhm.
And after doing so many of them, I can't think of how many I did right now, but I ended up just going to the final boss of the game early and kind of, I don't want to say I went unscathed. It was a pretty hard fight, but it's available to you from the moment you enter the game, just to go to the final boss and take care of it, so you brought up a good point. I'm wondering if they're going to do something similar into where, if you feel like you're strong enough, you can just go take care of it,
Or if you're just one of those people that spent hundreds of hours playing Dark Souls and games like that, so you're just used to that kind of combat, and you just you're feeling ballsy, take on the final boss off the rip. I respect it. I couldn't do it. Anyways, Brandon, what game do you want to see at E3?
The one that would it would be really cool to see it. I really doubt we're going to see it, so that is why it is in my want to see, and then is Hytale. If you don't know, I mean, if you're into Minecraft, it is the group who has the Hypixel server, Hypixel Studios. They were acquired by Riot Games back in April, like 2020-ish. I think it was like spring 2020, something like that. And I'm just really excited. I know myself and Adam have spent countless hours on the Hypixel server on Minecraft. They are so well done. And pretty much what Hytale is, if you don't know, it's just a new spin on a Minecraft game. So it will be really cool to see, and I have been waiting for quite some time thanks to our buddy Zuku Zero, or Golden, as some of you may know. He's got us hyped up for this game, so I want a little something. Give me a little something this year.
That's another one that's been around for a couple of years at least. The I remember we watched the trailer together like over a year ago now on that game. And it does seem pretty interesting. It seems like, you know, it's going to be a Minecraft with a little more structure to it.
Exactly.
You know, with a little more there instead of just kind of being a blank slate and it's just a straight survival game.
Yeah.
It's almost so it does look very interesting. Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Adam, I know you're a big Minecraft guy. Is that one you're looking forward to too?
I love Minecraft, and yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. Will I spend a lot of time on it? Probably not. I don't, because isn't it supposed to just kind of be like story like stuff?
Not from my knowledge. It's supposed to still have the Minecraft element. The big thing to it is, though, there is... honestly, in a sense, the best way I could put it, it's almost kind of what some of the mods do in Minecraft now, but it's, you know, on its own basis. It maybe is a little easier to run for some people. I mean, I'm sure that a lot of their different stuff is almost kind of already from Minecraft. It's going to look a little bit better for what I've kind of gathered so far, and there is hopefully going to be a lot more to do. But yeah, I don't know how much of like a quote-unquote story-driven game it'll be, if really any.
Okay, for sure. Well then, yeah, if it is, you know, not fully story-based, then yeah, I'll be more interested.
Vance just wants to explore and hunt the what is it, the Elder Dragon or something?
I
Is
just
that what it
want to mine diamonds.
Love it.
I respect that. For my want, and this is definitely probably a big reach, but I want to see a new mainline Fallout game. It can even be something as simple as like what they did with Elder Scrolls 6 and be like, hey, this game's not going to come out for like 4 years, but it exists. Like just something, you know. It's a mainline Fallout game.
Yeah, no, I mean, I know 76 didn't hit for everyone, and I know it didn't hit for a whole lot of people when it came out. However, the game did do a lot better throughout the time. It stinks that we have kind of gotten into the world of games as a service, where games don't really come out anymore and they're like, you know, truly polished. And I get it, because let's be very, you know, honest and true to ourselves. The gaming communities rush the developers, the studios rush the developers, and they have to come out a lot sooner at times. So because of that, the games aren't always going to be as polished. Usually, you know, I feel like jump back 15, 20 years, games would be done, and that's when they announce them. Nowadays, it's like, hey guys, we have a new game coming out 4 years from now. Be excited. And then they have to try to hit that 4-year deadline and stuff. So, fingers crossed though, man. I do love Fallout. It's just, I don't know. I want something to feel like New Vegas and Fallout 3 again.
Yeah, and so many people now that Bethesda is with Microsoft and Obsidian is with Microsoft, so many people are like, give us New Vegas 2, you can do it now, you own everything. It's like, true, but I don't know. Would I want a New Vegas 2? I mean, no Fallout games returned to the same setting, you know? Like, what are you going to do in the same setting?
No, 100%. Like, you've already conquered that region. Like, no need to do it again. No, I think, you know, 'cause maybe they really liked the gambling aspect of it, which is very possible, but there's other places you can gamble, right?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I have a bad taste in my mouth for Fallout. Like, for some reason, I could never get into it. Like, I tried New Vegas, and I had some wonky stuff happen in it where I just, like, wasted, like, an hour and a half, and then I just put it down and never got back into it. And then I went to Fallout 76, yeah, and I mean, you guys were there, you know how that went down, so... I don't know. I'd be interested in a new Fallout, but it would be like a new entry to my like Fallout experience, you know, like I want something fresh, you know.
I think
So-
that's yeah, I don't know. I mean, you'll always have those bugs and glitches though, like in those games or.
I s- Sorry. I was just gonna say, I still think it'd be cool to see something in Chicago for Fallout. Not just because we're all from the area, but like, one, they teased in New Vegas actually that the Enclave are in Chicago, and I know a lot of people want to see more of the Enclave. So I think it'd be super cool if they did something based on that. Personally.
Yes, yeah. I got no idea what you're talking about, but Chicago wouldn't be bad.
There's definitely a lot they'd be able to do with it, and that's why, I mean, I guess it did make sense when the game came out, but like when they announced 76 to be in West Virginia, I was kind of on the side of why aren't we going to, Chicago or Detroit or some, like, I don't know, bigger city, rather than kind of being more of a wasteland kind of thing. But when 76 came out and it was supposed to be a little bit more spread out and more adventurous, rather than, here's this town of civilians, go do quests and all that kind of stuff. So I would love to see that kind of return, whether it is maybe something like, what was Fallout 3?
Fallout 3 was DC.
DC, and Boston was 4, right?
Yes.
Okay, I would love to either see Chicago, Detroit, or somewhere in Cali. I think those would be really cool. Like San Diego. Oh my God! Like, there's that one that was done in Miami. That mod. That would.
Yeah.
Oh goodness. Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me a big, beautiful city.
Yeah, California could be interesting because that's another one that had a lot of ties to New Vegas
Yeah.
with the NCR and things like that. So that could be another. I think that could be another fun one that could have really cool stories to it. Adam, give us your you need to see it.
Due to today, it's gonna be Battlefield 2042.
Hey,
I need to see more of it. I need to see the full-on breakdown.
you've just been on this crazy Battlefield 5 kick, man. You got the bug.
Dude, it's such a fun game. I've missed it. I stopped playing because all my friends are haters.
That's not entirely true. Just because I
Nah.
don't play it doesn't mean
All
I
my friends are
hate on
haters.
it. Hey, we watched the reveal together. Come on.
We did.
Come on. We did. Doesn't mean I'm going to play the game, but like I watched it.
I never into Battlefield, and I didn't even get to watch the full trailer for it, but I was scrolling through Reddit today and it had part of the trailer where the guy just hops out of the plane, pulls out a bazooka, shoots the plane, gets back in the plane, whatever. And then right below that, it was like, it's because apparently that move is called the Loop Zook.
It's literally from a YouTuber who did it long ago.
Like 20 years ago, dude.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
it's
that-
cool that they know their community and the
And
people
that's
who have done
exactly
stuff
it.
like that, yeah.
Yeah. No, I love the fan service in that
Mm.
trailer. Like, I respect them a lot for that.
I will say one thing that I think is going to be cool about the new Battlefield is the dynamic weather. That looks kind of wild.
Yes,
That looks super wild, especially with the wingsuits and stuff.
it
I
really
think,
will.
I think it's going to be pretty cool. I think that's one thing I've always appreciated with Battlefield is that they always do something, like they always take things one step further with every new game.
Yeah.
They always do something to add more to the experience, which I think is pretty cool. Tough that there's not going to be any sort of campaign to the game. I think that was an interesting decision.
I think it's not needed. I mean, let's be honest. Who actually follows the campaigns for that? Like, don't get me wrong. I played them. That's just because I'm that kind of person who does that. But like, it's totally not needed.
Maybe the Battlefield community really loves the campaigns, Adam. Well, let's be real. Everybody just wants to play multiplayer. Let's be
Oh,
real.
100%. Yeah.
Cass, give us your game you need to see.
I know that it was on several people's lists in different categories, but mine would have to be the new Fable. Growing up, I never had an Xbox. I had a PC shortest amount of time when I was younger, and it had like this free trial to Fable, like when it first came out, and I don't remember much besides the fact that I loved it because I kept replaying it, but all I remember from it is just kicking this chicken. And I thought that that was the most entertaining
Toxic, bad
thing
karma.
as a kid. Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. But I'm interested because like now that I have a PC and I'm getting back into all the games that I've missed on PC
Now
and
that you're not evil and
Xbox.
kicking chickens.
Yeah, now that I'm not evil and kicking chickens, I want to see what the game's about. Nah, but I'm a big RPG kind of guy, and I want to get into Fable, but now that there's rumors and news, I think there's even like a teaser for the new Fable. I want to wait for that, like I don't want to go back and play a game from 20 years ago at this point, you know what I'm saying? So I'm very excited to see something about it, and I need to see it.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's definitely a game that I'm super stoked for, man. I just hope that it redeems the sour taste that Fable 3 left in a lot of people's mouth. Because Fable 1 was a fantastic game. Fable 2 was one of my favorite games I've ever played, to be honest with you. And then Fable 3 was like just not the same. I don't know. It took the huge leap into the industrial area too quick, and it just didn't feel like the same game anymore, and that was just mad to me. So I'm glad that they're bringing it back to a more fantasy setting. I'm just stoked, man. I think with how good you can make games look now, that game's just gonna be, oh man, I'm stoked, man. It's gonna be fantastic. I can't wait.
Exactly. And that's why like I'll go back and play like the original, 2 and 3 at some point, but I don't want to go, for some reason I don't want to go back to those graphics when I've seen the teaser for the new one and the graphics that appear in it, because I want to see how beautiful it looks. I don't know, man. I don't want to like regress, so to say.
And then I think we're up to Brandon.
Hi.
What is
Yeah.
your game you need to see?
The game I need to see, which is funny enough, I'm not going to bring up anything about Fable, goodness, because I know Adam is going to cheese about it at some point today, and I'll talk about it then too. But another game, it's funny enough, is a game I've also never played, and that's Diablo. Diablo 4, I really do want to see more about it. I've gotten so much more open to playing over-the-top games. I just remember growing up, I didn't like Diablo because I played games like World of Warcraft, City of Heroes, where it was like right over the shoulder, and I was like, Diablo doesn't feel like you really get to, personalize with your character as much, get to appreciate the armor and all that kind of stuff. But I have really gotten in these games a lot more, and I'm just excited for more of them. I mean, I love Albion. There's a lot of different ones I play with that too. The new Terra, Wildlands. So I'm just excited, super excited to see where it goes. I've always been a fan of medieval times type games. We're all hyped for New World, so more games in that genre is always fun.
I'm curious what the new one is going to look like. I mean, the trailer that came out for it was incredible looking.
Yeah.
Like, the CGI quality was absolutely probably the best looking CGI trailer I've seen. The only question is, when are we going to see it? Because apparently a lot of these games that are in development at Blizzard are kind of falling behind in terms of their original, windows they were looking at. So I'm curious how much longer we're going to have to wait to see Diablo 4. And then my need to see it game. It's a game that was supposed to already be out by now, but they delayed it. And haven't heard much from it since. And I'm big sad about it. And that's Rainbow Six Quarantine. So it feels like we need sorry, excuse me. It feels like Quarantine is going to be somewhat similar to a Left 4 Dead type game. It's going to be 3-player co-op. and it just from the little bits and pieces of gameplay that or trailers and stuff that we've seen, it feels like it's gonna be similar to it. So having the game in that kind of genre isn't a bad thing. Plus, after the success and how much I personally enjoyed Rainbow Six Siege, I think Quarantine, which apparently looks like they renamed it to Rainbow Six Extraction, it's just something I'm really looking forward to. I think it could be really fun.
It would be nice to see more from the Rainbow Six. I don't know, like, lore is not the proper word, but just development team, I guess, maybe is the proper direction. Because, I mean, Rainbow Six, as much as I don't really love the game, it is a very well-made game. And it will be nice to see more content come from the studio.
Last but not least, our gotta have it, need to see it, or E3 is a bust. Adam.
Well, for me, it was Fable.
Yeah.
Which I know we already kind of really went in on. Only thing I'll add, and you know, I waited to add it that way we could have something to talk about here, would be everyone poops on Fable 3. But honestly, it wasn't that bad. It was really fun. I really liked the Demon Gates in Fable 3. I feel like your relationships in that game were a lot more interesting, which was enjoyable. And then also on top of that, I'm pretty confident. I don't know. It's been a long time since I've been able to play it, but I'm pretty confident that like you were able to like build up your kingdom. And that was just really cool and a fun aspect to it.
Yeah, I
Fair.
think.
I don't know. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say that was one of the big things that intrigued me with Fable, because I mentioned to you guys a long time ago I never played it, and that was one of the really cool things of breaking it down to kind of get to run your own, kingdom area like that is just so neat. And I do hope they bring that into the next one, because it's such a dynamic thing that we don't see from games nowadays, bringing in that kind of RPG aspect, but with a semi-creative community built on your own level of it, almost like a Sims meets Skyrim, and that is really neat.
Yeah, I think for me, I don't know. I just didn't like the feeling of like you were in. It was almost like a god mode type game. Like you were literally just like. I remember watching the trailers, and you had this thing in your castle, and you basically just like watch everybody in the world doing stuff, and like that. I don't know. I didn't like it. I didn't like the vibe of it, personally. I loved Fable 2 because it felt like you were more immersed in the world, and I liked the idea of more of like you're actually just a guy that like purchased the buildings and the businesses, and you just kind of became like this tycoon and owned everything. I don't know. I liked that more than the idea of you're already the king and you just run everything. But like I said, I just from the little bit that we saw, it seems like they're gonna be dialing it back to 1 and 2, in terms of at least the aesthetic. So I am very much looking forward to Fable. Like I said, Cass, what game you gots to see this week?
I need to see something on Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2.
Intergrade, right? That's the name of it.
Well, Intergrade was the PS5 remake,
Oh, okay, gotcha.
which they've been promoting forever now. They came out with the DLC for the first one to kind of... Apparently the second one, Part 2, takes place after the DLC, the Yuffie DLC for Part 1. So I'm assuming... I haven't played it yet, but I'm guessing it's like a little bridge that connects Part 1 and Part 2. But like we don't even know if there's gonna be a Part 3 yet. I feel like it's been long enough to give us some kind of news on Part 2. I don't even want I don't even care about a release date. I just know nothing about it yet, and there's been so much stuff for 1. They've remade the first one already for the PS5 and everything, and I feel completely in the dark. So I'm hoping for at least some kind of teaser for it. It's probably going to be at the end of the showcase, like literally the last thing, I'm assuming, but something. It was so good, dude. I'm telling you.
It's one of those games I have to play eventually. Like it's a game that's on my backlog that I need to play at some point. Because I did play quite a few of I played 1 and 2 on like the Game Boy when they were, I think it was a re-release for the Game Boy. And I played 8 actually on the original PlayStation. We had like the 4-disc thing on the PS1, and it was super good. Me and my brothers like did the playthrough all together and really enjoyed it. And then I didn't really pay attention to the series, but then I tried 12. I think it was, no, 13. 13 was the one with lightning, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe so.
I played the first part of 13, and I really enjoyed it. So it's a series honestly, I feel like I should really just kind of commit my time to, because I have enjoyed what I've played of it. And just kind of go for it. Speaking of which, Final Fantasy 16 is very intriguing to me too, because it's going back to the more like strictly fantasy setting, and I think it's really cool.
No, it's fantastic, and I love it. But Final Fantasy VII Remake, I mean, you guys heard me rant about it when I first played it. It's definitely worth the playthrough, but I definitely know plenty of people who are waiting for Part 2 to come out, or even Part 3, because Part 1 covered maybe a third of the original game. So I definitely can see you waiting until they all come out, because I'm over here just stressing out about it and got nothing. So.
And then they're gonna re-release all the parts into one pack.
Yeah, and then they're gonna be integrated to PS5, and then they're gonna, get the ultimate editions, and it's just gonna be re-released and re-released over and over.
Exactly, perfect. Brandon, what's your game you gotta see?
Like you said earlier, man, I'll flip a table. I'll stop watching E3, or I'll stop following this company. I'm out, man. I'd be out if there's nothing about Starfield. They got the publication rights, or like they got the name for it back in 2013. The trademark was in 2013. They then announced the game officially in 2018. It made it seem like, yeah, it'll be some time. It's 3 years now. I don't need you to tell me the game's coming out this year. I don't need you to tell me the game's coming out next year. Let me see some sort of cinematic trailer at least. All they've shown us so far is the word Starfield. That's it. Give me something. Give me, like I said, at minimal a cinematic. Give me like a 40-second cinematic trailer, a little bit of like what the heck the game is. And they would blow me away if they actually give us gameplay too. I doubt that would happen, but just give me a little cinematic. If that does not happen this year, Bethesda is dead to me.
You canceled.
You canceled Bethesda.
Bro, I'm surprised Deathloop wasn't your you gotta have it.
Yeah. That garbage looking game? All right.
It's so toxic. And IGN actually just released like I guess an in-depth preview, and they said they really like what they played of Deathloop. It looks interesting. I just don't know if I can get into the whole because it's in essence it's a roguelite, but apparently they're trying to like avoid that stigma of being a roguelite. Like they're trying to say it's not a roguelite when it really is. So those games have never really been my thing, so I don't know if I'd really get into Deathloop myself. But I digress. So I gotta have it, gotta see it.
Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Nice, Manny.
Dude, don't even.
It's been a long time. It's been a long time, man. I had to bring it back. I had to bring it back, baby.
I forgot about that.
Bro, you tease, but I know they actually do want to do a sequel, and I know that they think they're working on like either a movie or TV show for the franchise. So don't even at me, bro. Oh, wait a minute. There's even like rumors that it's gonna get a reveal soon.
Oh no, Brandon ruined it.
Oh, imagine, boys. Okay, I changed my mind. The game I'm gonna go with, I gotta have it, gotta see it. Avowed. which is what seems like a first-person fantasy RPG from Obsidian. It's been about a year since we got the original trailer for the game, and I really want to see where the game's going myself. It really gave me serious Elder Scrolls vibes, and I don't know, man. It was just I loved everything about the trailer. It's only like a minute 20 seconds, but I remember watching it the first time and I was just like hooked. I was like locked in the whole time. And then that moment towards the end of the trailer when the like whatever big baddie's about to come out of the cave, the dude's like doing a hand sign to perform a spell. I'm like, that is so cool. I need this in my life. Yeah, I need to see Avowed, especially because thinking on it, like maybe Avowed's gonna be Obsidian being like, hey, a lot of people think we did Fallout better than you, Bethesda. Now we're gonna do Elder Scrolls better than you. Imagine.
That's kind of a big thing I'm curious about it with this game, because I do remember it now after I watched the trailer prior to running this today, and it looks like it's kind of a competitor to Elder Scrolls, and that is exciting because I love the world of Elder Scrolls. I just always thought it was too clunky, but that's Bethesda. Bethesda is clunky games for the most part, it feels. And it's really exciting to see if there's just going to be a really smooth, next-gen competitor to it.
Yeah, because, I mean, really thinking about it, there aren't too many, like, just bona fide, like, high fantasy RPG games. Like, there aren't too many franchises like that. Like, Diablo is fantasy, but it's kind of more of, like, a dark, gritty kind of feel to it.
Witcher 4?
Dude. They'll drop a trailer and it'll come out in 2027, so.
Yeah, probably.
Which is fine. Fine. Like, I mean, like Brandon was saying earlier, I think we get too excited when we see games. But I think at the same time, it's also a little bit on the, like, it goes both ways. Developers shouldn't, like, tease us with a game like that it's 4 years out. And we shouldn't get our hopes up for games and just let them come out when they come out.
Yeah.
But yeah, Witcher 4 would be great. Oh, also, Netflix is having like their own little thing for E3 weekend, weirdly enough, and apparently there's going to be something about The Witcher season 2.
And
That would be
I'm
exciting.
totally okay with that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I just got that song stuck in my head now that you started talking about it. So I need a new dumb catchy song to be in my head.
There you go. Did it for you. Toss a coin to your Witcher. So yeah, I think that's everything we have for you guys. Really excited to see everything going on this week with E3. There's gonna be a lot of cool stuff, a lot of good shows. Hopefully get some awesome premieres, man. It's such a weird time right now because we know a lot of things exist, but we don't know when they're coming out. But we also know there's so much stuff yet to be announced. Like Microsoft has all of these studios that they've bought, they've acquired, and they're all working on something, and some of them we don't know what it is yet. And then PlayStation's not going to be a part of E3 week, but I want to say a couple weeks ago, they brought up the fact that I think it was Jim Ryan brought up the fact that they have like 25 exclusives in the works and 12 of them are new IPs. So like we have so much to look forward to, but we don't know what it is yet. And that bothers me. I need to know. Anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Nerd Chambers. This has been our wish list for E3 2021. Once again, thank you guys so much for stopping by. If you want to keep up with everything the Chambers, thenerdchambers.com. We post all of our content on there. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram. Like us on Facebook. And give us a follow on your favorite podcasting platform. And I think Apple Podcasts is really the only one that does reviews. Leave us a review. Let us know how we're doing. Let us know what you think. And give us your thoughts on what you're looking forward to this E3.